Hey, everybody. Welcome to Secure the Seat Live. I'm so happy that you joined us for lunch. I know you could be anywhere on the internet right now or in your house, but you're here with us. I'm so excited to have Yelitsa here to talk about her company, Healthy Roots Dolls, and celebrate a monumental time for women of color in our country. Yelitsa, welcome to Secure the Seat. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing really well today and just happy that something's going good in the world.
Amen to that. And for those who may not be familiar with your work, will you tell everybody a little bit more about you and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Yelitsa Jean-Charles. I am the CEO and founder of Healthy Roots Dolls, which is a multicultural children's product company. You might have seen our first product, which is a beautiful doll named Zoe with brown skin and kinky curly stylable hair. I probably should have had her on the video, but she's taking a nap right now, so we're going to let her rest.
Yes, she's resting. I mean, she's had a busy weekend. We need to let her get her nap ministry. Um, but let's dig a little deeper. Why was it important for you to create Healthy Roots Dolls?
Yeah, so I created Healthy Roots dolls because I never really had a doll that looked like me growing up. And I'm not sure if you can relate to that a little bit. Um, and like when my parents did give me a brown doll, I actually started crying because to me it wasn't the pretty one because it didn't look like the one that was on TV with the blonde hair and the blue eyes and all of that. And I thought about my own experiences growing up where one of my fondest memories was actually my mother doing my hair and how beautiful she made me feel, but how despite her best efforts and the work that she did, I grew up and started to feel a lot less like that princess and a lot more like a pumpkin because I didn't see women with hair like me being celebrated as beautiful or with skin like me or things like that. And so when I got to the Rhode Island School of Design where I studied illustration, I actively pursued a career in children's media, specifically children's illustration, where I learned a lot more about the lack of representation within children's products and the fact that only 4 out of 10 girls love their curls, even though 65% of the world's population has curly or wavy hair. And then decided to take a class project where I turned Rapunzel into a little brown girl with kinky curly hair into this beautiful doll after I had a really in-depth conversation with my peers on Facebook and realized we never really had dolls that looked like us, or they were painted brown but didn't have our features, didn't have our hair texture. And I wanted to do more than just paint a doll brown, but create an educational play experience around hair so that little girls could have dolls that look just like them to teach them how to love their curls.
Oh, I love that so much. And I feel you on that because I was thinking as you were talking, and even when I learned about your work, how I wish I would have had a doll that looked like me. I think like later in my life, I might have had like a Cabbage Patch doll that was brown. But I think that was like it. But I was like the only one that had a brown doll. And to your point, because I didn't see them, I'm like, oh, I want the white dolls, or whatever case it is. And so I'm
Yeah.
happy that girls have that right now. The other thing I want to say for those who have joined us, please put your comments, your chat, any questions that you might have, put them in the chat because we want to make sure that we ask Yelitsa why she's here. Maybe you've even had a similar experience, but I recently heard you say a quote, and I want to get it right, so I'm going to read it. Every girl should feel empowered by the beauty of the kink of her curl and the color of her skin. I know you touched on it a little bit, but what did you mean when you made that comment?
So I think my quote typically, I'm not sure if it was in an article, but I typically say no one should feel less than because of the kink of their curl or the color of their skin. Basically same thing, like copywriting, whatever. And what I mean by that is I want each child to feel beautiful just the way that they are. And so often young girls of color do not feel beautiful because of societal standards that say in order to be beautiful, you should look like this, or you should have lighter with, colorism and internalized racism within our culture that projects this idea that beauty can only be one thing. And recognizing that, okay, what about the little girls that don't look like that? Are they not supposed to feel empowered? Are they not supposed to feel beautiful? Should they feel pressured to change who they are? And thinking about my own experiences where I spent years, getting Dominican blowouts and like avoiding the sun because, you don't want to get too dark, or, your hair is a little bit too kinky. It's not professional. And so that's what that statement means. It's you should feel perfect just the way that you are, and there should be no one pressuring you to be different.
I love that. And yes to all of it. We're going to take a quick, I know a couple questions are coming in. I want to grab some of them. So one person says, how have white people, and I'm paraphrasing to cut it down, how have white people responded to your black and brown dolls?
I think one of my favorite things that we're seeing now, given what's going on in 2020, is a lot of parents recognizing how important multicultural dolls are for their children, regardless of who they are. I've always said that brown dolls are for everyone. If a black child can play with a white doll, a white child can play with a brown doll. And we should be focusing on diversifying children's play to represent the beauty of our world. And so a lot of parents are seeing Healthy Roots dolls as an opportunity to bring that into their children's play. So getting Zoe for, their little girls who might not look like Zoe, but have friends that look like Zoe, so that they can play together and learn about Zoe and her hair and the curl power and all that. So a lot of them are really excited just to see another beautiful product existing as an option for their children.
I love that. And I think that's so important. I remember when we could be out in the world walking the streets. I was walking in New York, I think it was last summer, and I saw a white family, and their daughter had like a little stroller, and she had a black baby and a brown and a white baby in there. And I'm like, yes.
We want children to just have options, and we want to get to the point where it doesn't matter what color the skin of the doll that they have is, because we have the options to choose from so many.
Yes, absolutely. Another question we have here for you is, Yelitsa, have there been any intersection between Healthy Roots dolls and the Crown Act?
Intersections?
Have you, the Crown Act, and I guess maybe any collaboration, or have you seen any conversation around your dolls and the Crown Act?
I think that my team and the work that we do already talk about so many things that are covered within the Crown Act. The fact that we shouldn't be experiencing hair discrimination in professional settings or preventing us from pursuing specific opportunities. The very work that we're doing with Healthy Results is to make sure that no one feels like they have to change their hair, that girls love their hair just the way that, and help end that hair discrimination as well. I would love to work with people from the Crown Act. If you know them, send them my way. But we're definitely working. They're doing the work, legally, and we're doing the work from early stages of identity development to help girls advocate for themselves and support the Crown Act when they're older, and making sure that things become more equal for everyone.
Yeah. I love that early identity development, because again, like so many of the things that we're exposed to as young girls, we don't get to see ourselves. And so to be able to see ourselves in all the different textures, I love that, which leads me to my next question is, we have this historic moment that happened over the weekend. And two-part question. One is, why is it important? Well, I guess we kind of have touched on why it's important for Black and brown girls to see themselves that way. But why is it important for, I'm seeing all this love coming in for you, so I'm distracted from the love and the question. But the question that I keep seeing is, where can they go to get the dolls?
HealthyRootsDolls.com. HealthyRootsDolls.com. Put it in Google. Go to our Instagram. Go to our Twitter. HealthyRootsDolls.com.
I love it. I love it. And we have this historic moment. Women of color, Black women, are really excited about our Vice President-elect Kamala Harris being the first woman of color. Why is representation so important at every level, from the early to senior in our life?
I think because I think it's just the very fact that you said what you said. Kamala Harris is the first woman of color. It's because we still have so many firsts, because for so long we haven't had it. And we talk about how children can't be what they can't see, and that's something that we say, and it does have an impact on children. But I don't necessarily believe that it's true that you can't be something just because you haven't seen it. That's not true. But it helps you to see Kamala Harris in these positions, to know that you can achieve those things. And so I think it's important for girls to continue to see that. I look at the way that people are talking about Kamala Harris's background. Like, she's Indian, she's Asian, she's Jamaican, she's representing for all these different people who for so long have not seen that and what it means for them. I think the way that people are celebrating speaks to how important it is for children, for everyone. And, I don't think, we should be watering people down to their identities. There's so many more things to celebrate, achieve, like other achievements as well. But I think everyone's just really excited because it's the first, and we still have a lot of firsts to achieve. And so we want it to become many rather than first.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that one of the things that she said in her speech was that I might be the first, but I won't be the last. And I think that's the energy that we take into these rooms, knowing that, yes, for many places it's the first, but we can make the decision on how many more seats we create and how many roles we take.
Yeah.
So, I'm loving that. And so we have a question here for you, Yelitsa. How has it been being in the toy industry? What has that experience been like for you?
So I come from an illustration background. I started this company a few years ago in college and very clearly did not come from the toy industry. I have never worked at a toy company, never really had like a real job, just went straight into this. And there was a lot of learning. You learn, so looking at what's current trends and what's been done in the past. So that's how I was able to see an opportunity to create a multicultural children's product. The fact that the industry hasn't created these products and are very slowly catching up now, and then having to learn from their mistakes so that I can build something better, greater quality, and looking at our marketing and our brand and our opportunity to connect with a specific audience. So I spent a lot of time learning, having conversations and engaging in that space. So going to the toy fairs, going to local networking events, connecting with mentors who graduated from my school that went on to work at, a lot of these giant companies or created their own products. So that was what I did for like the first 3 years of my company, is actually just engaging people in the space to learn more about it so I could build the best product possible.
I love that. Another question we have for you before we jump into our bonus questions is, has Zoe met Quay Quay?
Do you know Serena? Do you know Alexis? Can we get Olympia a Healthy Roots doll? I mean, hey, if somebody want to send one their way, feel free to.
Maybe you could tell people who don't know who Quay Quay is. Who is Quay Quay?
Quay Quay is Olympia Ohanian's. Is Ohanian? Is that the last name?
I think so.
So Serena Williams and Alexis's daughter. And she's super cute, and she's this really fun doll, and she's got this boss energy. She went viral, I think maybe about 2 years ago, for just being really cute and playful. And she's got a great social platform, empowering everyone every day to be their boss self. And now she's a physical product. She's super cute. People are loving her. And Zoe has unofficially met her, but not officially met her.
Well, we're going to put that into the atmosphere, manifestations, that maybe a future cartoon, Zoe and Quay Quay.
Listen, do not put out any concepts that you're not about to work on, because that's a lot. An animated series, woo!
So you never know what the future will hold. But one of the questions that I want to ask you is that I am a lover of grits and rap lyrics, and I ask all my guests what their favorite rap lyric is and why. So I have to ask, what's on top of mind?
So I listen to a lot of Megan Thee Stallion, Cash Doll, Doja Cat, the City Girls. If I had to pick something, it would have to be City Girls. When JT said, "If it don't make money, it don't make sense." Those are words to live by, ladies.
That's the mic drop. I think we got everything we needed out of that line. Yes, yes, yes. The other question I have for you is, we have a lot of leaders who are watching the show today and who will share this episode. What is one tip that you would give them on how to make the workplace better than we found it?
Listen to Black women.
Let's be clear. You have to hire some first so you can listen to us.
Like, ooh, I can't give you anything specific, but listen to everything them ladies say.
Yes, yes. But listen to us. And I'm just loving it. I love that. That's a great piece of advice. Please, the next time they say, what can we do? What can we do to help? How do we be an ally? Listen to Black women.
It's not even just listen. It's, people can listen all day. They can hear the words that you're saying, but like, are you actually taking action? I hate lip service. I hate it. It's, oh yeah, we want to do this. We believe in this. Okay, now what?
Yes, exactly, that part. We have a couple more questions we have time for. Have you given any thought to creating a doll for little brown boys and Black boys?
I think it's interesting that we get that comment a lot. And it seems like there are a lot of people who have this idea. And I think that anybody could create those. I think there's an opportunity there.
Yeah,
for sure.
We have another question. Where did and again, it's a long question, so I'm paraphrasing. how did you come up with the concept for Zoe in terms of the name and all of that?
Yeah, it was all a class project. I took Rapunzel, turned her into a little brown girl with kinky curly hair, and then conversation on Facebook, like I mentioned earlier, just people connecting and realizing there was a demonstrated need for products that not only had brown skin but actually represented the physical features of brown girls and the texture of their hair. So really focused on hair play because I recognize that natural hair is not a trend, it's the new standard. And it's really important to empower girls at an early age to love their hair. And what better way to do that than with a doll that's a social tool that teaches children about themselves.
Yes. And is there anything else, Yelitsa, that you'd like everyone to know about in terms of just as they're thinking about their next uh, purchase around the holidays, etc.? Anything you want to leave them with?
COVID has impacted every business. Supply chain is crazy. Every business, behind every business are people who read your messages and are doing the best that they can. And so I think that it's important to extend grace and patience to businesses that are navigating this time. Nobody could have anticipated this. And so when you're making your purchases, do not wait until the last minute and don't get mad when Amazon is doing 4-day instead of 2-day. So just be mindful of the time that we're in and the fact that a lot of businesses are doing the best that they can to provide for everyone.
I love that. And if people want to hire you, work with you, support you, where's the best place for them to find you?
Uh, I don't typically put people out to follow me, but you know, I'm on Instagram, Black Girl versus the World, Twitter, the Yelitsa. I just share my work. I post some selfies and I post cute pictures of kids with our dolls.
I love it. And we have time. I lied. We have time for one more question. I've seen the same question coming in, so I want to make sure that we get it. Without, and I don't know how you feel about this question, but I'm going to ask it. Without going into your purse, can you highlight the economic importance of purchasing your dolls?
Is there an economic importance to purchasing my dolls?
I'm not sure exactly. I mean, maybe
I'm not sure what that question is.
Maybe about the wealth gap, perhaps, or buying Black business.
I think that every consumer votes with their dollar, and so you always want to put your money towards a company whose work you believe in, whose work that you value, and that it's an investment. So shop with your heart, and purchase products that you believe in.
I love that. Another question: do you collaborate with others who are promoting? Do you collaborate with other people on your dolls?
I think that there are so many opportunities to work with brands that align with your mission and your values. We in the past have worked with Procter & Gamble's My Black is Beautiful brand, which is incredible. We did a really cute promotion a whole year ago that's no longer available. But yeah, we're always looking to see how we can create value for our customers and work with meaningful brands.
Absolutely. Well, Yelitsa, I appreciate the work that you do. I know the first time that I came across your work was your TED Talk, and I've just been a fan of what you're doing, and I appreciate your work because I know it's not easy, especially like you said during COVID-19, and just in general, being a business owner. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you to all of you who joined in for lunch, breakfast, wherever you're at. We'll see you next week on Secure the Seat here on LinkedIn Live. And go and check out Healthy Roots Dolls and make a purchase, even if you are not, maybe you don't play with dolls anymore, but you still support Black business. Or there's somebody you can give that doll to or pass it along. So have a great week, everybody. Take care.
Bye.